Maxwell Jacob Freidman, MJF is your current AEW World's Heavyweight Champion, and I am fully confident in the fact that after Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, Nevada, MJF is going to walk out still AEW World's Heavyweight Champion out of that 4-way pillars match. But that's not what I'm here for. We're going to get into those predictions a little bit later next week once we're closer to the show. But there's been a lot of discourse on social media and the fact that apparently they think that MJF's World Championship reign has been a fail. And there is some truth to that, no doubt, but it has more to do with the fact of how MJF has been booked creatively. It has more to do with who MJF has been paired up with in terms of rivalries and feuds and championship defenses. And that falls upon Tony Khan. Because MJF, every time he's gone out there, either in a match or in a promo, on the mic, on the stick, whatever segment, he kills it. It's entertaining. You want to watch MJF on your screen. There is no doubt about that. And that is why he is the world champion. That is why he is the face of the company. But basically, what Tony Khan has been doing by booking MJF against lower main event, upper mid-card talent in his championship defenses is saying either we're saving up these bigger matches for later down the line, we just want to extend his championship reign by having these transitional defenses, which that's the point, and means they deserve the slight viewership. That's a better way of putting it. Or it's just a matter of them not trusting MJF in that main event position to go up against top tier main event talent, which AEW does have. But Tony Khan refuses to pair MJF up with them because he has chosen to divert all of these men into separate feuds, separate rivalries, and not worry about the top prize and professional wrestling, which is the World's Heavyweight Championship. And of course, I'm talking about Jon Moxley. I'm talking about Kenny Omega. I'm talking about Hangman Adam Page, who are currently, and yes, in a very hot, heated, bloody feud amongst themselves in a stable-like warfare. But they should also want to be world's champion. And those are your top tier talents right now. With this recent announcement that AEW is going to have a brand new Saturday morning show, fantastic announcement. I'm hoping we hear more details about that tonight on Dynamite. It's going to be called Collision a month from now, June 17th. That's going to be the debut. Hopefully, it's rumored it's a return that CM Punk might indeed come back. That's another top tier talent if you could pair MJF up with title defenses. And make no mistake about it, I'm not trying to demerit or demean any of his past opponents in his current title reign. But guys like Ricky Starks, guys like Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara, they are future main event talent. Keyword, future. Not today. Not right now. There was no point. There has been very few doubt in MJF's title reign that he's going to lose that championship. There's going to be any of his opponents on that roster that's going to actually dethrone MJF. Nobody thought it was going to be Ricky Starks. Nobody thought it was going to be one of these three other pillars in a singles match straight up. And even then, you pair them up in a 4-way, nobody thinks MJF's going to lose that championship. So, I think it's just all of these factors that come into play when it comes to MJF's title reign. There hasn't been a defining feud. There hasn't been a defining rivalry. It's all been, for lack of a better term, transitional. It's all been a way of extending his championship reign as long as possible. And if that is the case, then can you blame the viewership dipping a slight bit, which is not too much because that's where usually AEW's viewership hovers, which is around 700, 750 to 900,000, a million sometimes. That's their ball game right there. They hover right then and there every single week. That doesn't change. So just blaming it on one guy, even if that is MJF, even if it is somebody else, that shouldn't be the case. And make no mistake about it, this could still work. MJF is still the face of the company. He's still AEW's most promising superstar, box office potential superstar. And WWE did this back in 2005 with John Cena. They paired John Cena up against Chris Jericho and Christian. And they kept on going with a feud against JBL. They were not top tier talent. And then guess what? He faced off against Kurt Angle. He beat Kurt Angle just like MJF beat Bryan Danielson. And then came the big, what do you call them? The big guns. Like a Triple H, for example. Like a Shawn Michaels. And we got a little bit of Edge action as well, which I believe MJF's Edge in AEW is Wardlow, who is the current TNT champion. And if there is anybody that MJF can elevate currently in AEW, it has to be Wardlow, possibly in Wembley. That might be the best match possible to give Wardlow that big superstar main event stage in front of a packed 50, 60, 70, 80,000 stadium. London, England. Down the line, 3 months from now, August, Wardlow, world champion, that might happen. But in the meantime, you gotta give MJF some meaningful rivalries, meaningful feuds, and hopefully Tony Khan starts doing that right after Double or Nothing. So I just wanted to touch upon that. It's not just on the superstars' responsibility, it's also on the booking, on the creative, on everything. Everything is compounded. All these circumstances lead to results. And the results are there. And to me, MJF as world champion, as a face of the company, it's a big win for AEW. No questions asked. So with that said, what do you think about MJF's title reign currently? Do you think it's been a good title reign? Do you think it's a very hit or miss title reign? Do you think he should be paired up against top tier talent in AEW very, very soon? Leave it in the comment section below. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk. Tune in later on tonight to Wednesday Night Dynamite. Can't miss episode. And with that said, I'll see you next time.